Well, thanks to Costco, we've managed to have some of their flyers through the door, and this is one of the latest ones of theirs that we have. I believe they've rearranged the place a little bit and put all the lighter stuff on top of the highest racking. Not in our case, where they put the washing machines on. This is showing you the area where the washing machines were stacked. And this is the front of the shelving. We were walking in between the two aisles, but this is the front side of the aisle, and the washing machines were stacked on the front side of the aisle. So I will point it to you. It's in that top area. That's where the 8 washing machines were stacked. And behind it wasn't anything. I'll show you on another clip later. This is where the washing machines was at. All these people that worked there, and the police and all, haven't really came and spoke out that there was 8 washing machines stacked on there, and it did fall down and hit somebody. But I suppose that's how the world is today. That is the aisle. Is basically this the area that was on our side of the aisle. Yeah, that is our side of the aisle where things are stacked. And this is the in between the two aisles that we were walking down. Yes, going back to how human race is, considering that all these people that was there, and it's funny how when people have an accident, nobody consider that these insurance companies and the companies won't admit to what actually happened, And if nobody are willing to come and speak out, and that means the individuals who suffered whatever injury that they suffered, that is where it was stacked. That area there, so it gives you a rough idea. That's the front part of the aisle, and the back of that stacking is another aisle. This is the area that we walked down. And going back to that. Yeah, if anybody notice an accident, you don't think that, you presume that whoever's fault it is, and the people who accept liability. Well, they did accept liability, but the insurance company is starting to, apparently going by my present solicitor, they will put up a fight saying that the washing machine fell on the floor, then it bounced up and hit my wife, and all these sort of things they could argue about. But could you imagine a washing machine for them to hit her on her shoulders and chest? It would have had to bounce about 7 to 8 foot and come back down and compress her vertebrae. If anybody think that a washing machine could fall 30 feet and then bounce up by about 7 or 8 foot, that would be quite interesting. Probably, I could get some sort of feedback on that. This is the photo of yeah. But it's hard to believe that that we have to go through all of this. It's a good job that I've managed to get hold of a lot of information, and there's a lot of information I can't release yet because of the case pending. Walking down, and there's a yellow arrow on the top right hand corner. I will point to it in a minute with the cursor, and that is where the bottom two washing machines fell, on that shelving that the yellow arrow is pointing to. There was 2 flying off from the back of the front aisle, and it's come all the way from up there down and virtually hit my wife. But as you can see, you know, the height that it was stacked on, it wasn't as if it was on the floor. And you know, you can see the height of the guy in the picture, and the height of that shelf. And to think that they put 8 washing machines so high up in the air, it's well, you know, to me, as far as I'm concerned, it's negligence. But it's not only negligence, you know, it's just unbelievable to think that the punitive damages, in other words, what it is it's like when somebody's done something that they shouldn't have done, basically stack 8 washing machines 30 foot up in the air and overhanging by 20%. Well, this is the injury denied, and I believe the National Health says she hasn't had any injury to her head, but that's what the expert witness say. But as you can see, there is an injury to her head, and the washing machine also struck her on her shoulder and on her chest, which the next clip will show you. And this is the controversial clip. Everybody seemed to think it was my wife's, you know, bum or body or whatever, but on the left hand side is the top of her shoulder, bottom left is her ribs, basically her rib cage, the side of her ribs. That's where I think it don't look like she's shaved under her arms, but we didn't expect to have the accident that day. Well, this is the other side of it. I still managed to hit the whole part of her ribs, her back of her chest, a side of her body, and that what you see there, the top part is her arm, and the bottom part is the side of her chest. Extremely extensive bruising and painful. Here she is in her body cast, which she had to stay in for 5 months. You know, and that's how she's slept since her accident, and 4 years later she still have to sleep in that position because she can't seem to lie down flat anymore. And so now it's been 4 years, and she still have to sleep in that position all the time. But this is, you know, when she had this body cast on in 2003, the temperatures was in the hundreds basically, and was extremely terrible for her. The sweat used to be pouring off her, but and we received no help from the company that injured her. We had to pay for all the fans and whatever, and taking her out every day to keep her cool. We never had any help from these people. To think that a massive company like that could injure somebody and not assist them at all, full stop, in having any help. You know, we never receive a penny from them at all since 8 months after the accident, and when whatever interim payment we got of 5,000 8 months later, we had to give it back and more, another £1,000 on top of it, to the first solicitor for sacking him. So after that accident, it's cost us 6,000 basically for sacking that solicitor, and by then we haven't received a penny really from both of us had to be out of work and to pay all for going to visit her in hospital, and the parking, which costs us £14 or £16 a day, something like that, at the Royal London. And then Berks, and those who live around that area knows the cost of parking. Well, that is basically how things were.